Girls are not the problem. They are the problem solvers. You want to slow the spread of AIDS? Educate a girl. You want to grow the global economy? Educate a girl. So what exactly changes when the 600 million girls in the developing world get a good education? Everything.
If my husband heard these words, he might kill me. So might my father, or my brother, or any one of thousands of my countrymen. Killed because I want to learn. Killed because I want to read. For uttering my own truth. Because I am a girl. Now that I am no longer a child, I cannot show you my face. I must wear the shroud of blue, a shell. I am a girl masked and muted. So what can you truly know of me? But I will speak. I will not be silenced. My story is like thousands of others, millions. No one bothered to record the date of my birth. As a girl, I was considered unworthy of a record. I am told my mother burst into tears when she learned my sex. Set me aside in the dirt. She already had one son, but wanted another. Wanted the status of being a bearer of boys. My mother never learned to read or write. She's never opened a book, never written in a diary. Can't even decipher the scribbles on a bag of rice. From the age of 3 years old, I spent my days working. My hands and face were chapped from carrying icy mountain water to wash men's hands. I woke before dawn, cleaned the house, washed the clothes, the dishes. I carried my siblings on my back until they were old enough to walk. I learned early to serve. I learned early that this is the way things were always intended to be for the women of my family. A lifetime of servitude. My happiest times were the few short years of my education. I learned to read and write on an old blackboard fixed to a crumbling stone wall. Girls in other parts of my country where the Taliban were in tight control weren't allowed to go to school at all. Weren't allowed to step outside their homes, so I was always aware of my privilege. I was 11 years old when my father arranged for me to be married. My mind was of little value, but my body could settle a dispute, pay a debt. My body is a resource which can be spent for men's pleasure or profit. Who will care that I have been married against my will for 250,000 Afghanis, roughly $5,000? For that price, my father offered me in marriage to a cousin. My empty-eyed mother approved the match. When the transaction was complete, they spent the money to buy a used car for my brother. I am an Afghan woman, and I know from history that it hasn't always been this way. On my wedding day, I tried to think about all the many strong Afghan women before me. I've heard about Malalai, Rabia Balki, Zaguna Anna, women who lived 100 years ago. They could read and write. They spoke their own minds and were heroes for my country. But now I am imprisoned in marriage, only allowed outside in this cover. There is no opening for my mouth to talk. My eyes are hidden beneath this embroidered cage. The first night of my marriage, my new husband barely spoke. And the seed he planted was not only the son he wanted, but the anger that has grown in me ever since. I vowed that night I would find a way not only to endure, but to prevail. The midwife who delivered my son without complications said I was one of the lucky ones. More women die giving birth in Afghanistan than any other place in the world. When I birthed the baby, praise Allah, a boy, I behaved dutifully. As I suckled his innocence at my breast, cupped his tiny feet in my hands, all I felt was impatience. Impatience because we are poor, because we are silenced, disenfranchised, beaten, cut, married as children, sold, raped. When we seek freedom, we are burned. When we speak the truth, we are stoned. When we go to school, we are bombed, poisoned, shot. Don't tell me it simply has always been so. I don't believe in your resignation. I refused ignorance long ago. Don't tell me you are on my side. Your silence has already spoken for you. Do not tell me the blame lies in my religion, in my culture, in my traditions. I have not forgotten my vow. Change is coming. I will read, I will learn, I will study, I will return to school. I dare you to tell me it's a waste of time. If you try to stop me, I will just try harder. Put me in a pit. I will climb out. If you kill me, there will be other girls who rise up and take my place. I will find a way to endure, to prevail. The future of man lies in me. And this is the future I see. I am the beginning of a different story in Afghanistan. And when my granddaughter explains how I withstood the odds against me, it will become legend. Oh yes, perhaps it will only be whispered at first, but just you watch. It will grow into a roar, an inexhaustible voice that will usher in a brighter future. Do you doubt me? Do you underestimate my will? Look into my eyes. Do you see it now? I am change.